afternoon. Welcome to MX Business Breaks on MX24 channel with me, Ifwa Evans Chinwi. Coming up, President Akufo-Addo encourages Spanish investors to throw support behind AFCFTA. And to some good news, the Institute for Energy Security predicts fuel prices to remain same in first week of April 2021. We have details of these stories and others coming up shortly. Do stay. Our very first story, President Akufo-Addo has called on investors in Spain to consider Africa as a viable investment destination following the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. According to President Akufo-Addo, the recently rolled out African Continental Free Trade Area needs the support of Spanish investors. The president further added that the support from Spain and other European countries will help Africa deal with its pressing economic challenges. President Akufo-Addo was addressing the business community in Spain as part of the Focus Africa 2023 conference in Madrid, Spain.
What the pandemic has taught us is that our world is truly interdependent. For a virus that originated in China has engulfed the entire globe. We need to cooperate more, and we need to cooperate smartly. In the midst of all the complexities of the 21st century, our interdependence requires such cooperation. So I applaud Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez for convening Focus Africa 2023 and for the brilliance of the Plan Africa 3 initiative. It is eloquent testimony to the inability of the current structures of African economies, producing and exporting raw materials, importing manufactured goods and services from Europe and elsewhere, to generate the numbers of decent, well-paying jobs that Africa's youth crave. But fortunately, there's now a consensus amongst the current crop of African leaders of the urgent need to remedy the situation and relate with the rest of the world on the base of trade and investment cooperation in value-added activities. As President of the Republic of Ghana, I believe the time has come for Africa, Spain, and indeed the rest of Europe to establish a sustainable strategic partnership based on trade and investment cooperation on the exchange of value-added transactions. It would obviate the resort to aid which has not achieved its purpose. Hence the mantra of Ghana Beyond Aid, which is the overarching goal of Ghanaian public policy. Indeed, a very important plank of this new strategic partnership between Africa, Spain, and Europe would be the strong support for the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, which began trading on 1st January. The AFCFTA will link all the 54 markets of Africa, covering 1.3 billion people, into a single market. It is the world's largest free trade area outside of the World Trade Organization itself.
Now, the Institute of Energy Security, IES, has projected that fuel prices on Ghana's domestic market will remain the same in the first pricing window in April 2021. According to IES, the projected price stability is mainly occasioned by the relative stability of the local currency against the US dollar, a decrease in the price of the international benchmark crude, among other factors. There's more in this report.
According to the press release copied to MX24 Business, price of fuel on the local market in the second pricing window of February remained largely stable. Price of petroleum product within the second pricing window of March 2021 saw the oil marketing companies, OMCs, maintain prices at the pump throughout the period. The current national average price of fuel per litre at the pump is pegged at 5.16 Ghana cedis for both products. Brent crude and the period averaged about $65.22 per barrel mark, representing a 2.19% decrease from this window's average price of $66.65 per barrel. On 24th March, however, price of Brent crude went up by 5.5% due to the unfortunate mishap in the Suez Canal. The canal is a major transportation route for global trade that connects Asia to the Middle East. The mishap blocked the delivery of about 13 million barrels of crude, according to Vorteza. The situation is expected to cause a short-term delay in crude oil imports in Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world. Gasoline and gas oil prices, as monitored on Standard & Poor's global platform, show that price of the international commodities, gasoline and gas oil, experienced marginal decreases within the period on the local forex. Data collected by IES Economic Desk from the foreign exchange forex market shows the cedi maintained its stability against the US dollar, still trading at 5.73 Ghana cedis to the US dollar. Due to factors including the 2.05% decrease in price of the international benchmark, Brent crude, the 2.84% decrease in price of gas oil, the 1.89% decrease in gasoline price, and the relative stability of the local currency against the US dollar, the IES projects for price of fuel on the domestic market at various pumps to remain the same as we continue into April 2021.
Former Chief Executive Officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Dr. Daniel Seddo, has downplayed calls on government to implement measures in order to generate revenue from property tax. He explained that government cannot earn much from properties which are not completed and with low occupancy. He noted that government must help to resolve these challenges before it can rake in revenue from property taxes. Dr. Seddo was speaking at a symposium on the 2021 budget organized by UPSA Global Alumni.
We talk about tax on income and on property. I will talk about property. We have a lot of properties, and you hear people say property tax, but there's the need to look harder than what it is. The big houses are there, either uncompleted, completed, no occupancies. The owners are not even living in Ghana. You can't raise properties on those things. And some of them are in areas that we never contributed anything to their development. So there is an issue that we should be looking at. And our properties, occupancy low, but I think if we want to get something out of property, we must have a system where houses are completed, occupancy rate improves, and then automatically the tax will follow.
Speaking at the same event, the Director General of the Internal Audit Agency, Dr. Eric Udro-Osai, also advocated for the conversion of the country's long-term development agenda into a law. According to Dr. Udro-Osai, this will ensure stability in Ghana's development and enable the country achieve its development targets with ease.
I think it is about time we agree to have the long-term development plan converted into law. We started the process of developing a 40-year development plan for Ghana. During Kwadwo Banrodu's period, he developed a 50-year budget for Ghana. But all these things are policy document. But if we are able to have a 40-year development plan for the country, convert it into even a law for stability, I'm very positive that we'll be able to achieve the targets we set for ourselves. In countries like Singapore and Malaysia, they have been able to develop because of some stability they've had by way of development planning and budget planning. So I want to believe that as a country, we should work towards developing a stable medium-term plan to be backed by a stable budget and targets. And if possible, we can convert it into law. And once we do this, we should compel, it should become compulsory for every government that comes to buy into it, so that political parties can develop their political party manifestos around the agreed national development plan or the medium-term plan, so we can see some consistency in our development agenda.
It's time to shift focus to the forex market and take a look at how the Ghana cedi is performing relative to other major trading currencies, as well as development on the country's commodities market. And that's how we end today's edition of MX Business Breaks with me, Ifwa Evans Chimi. Keep watching MX 24 News.